Hello everyone, welcome back to another Froggo's adventure to Devlog. Today I would like to talk about world maps, or I guess overworld depending on how you wanna say it. Now for the past 3 or 4 months, I have been working on different stuff and at different points. I've been working on soundtrack, I've been working on level design. The most recent thing I've worked on is world maps, so that's what I'm gonna talk about today. And you're not gonna stop me. So world maps. They're probably one of my favorite things from the early Mario games. I don't know, aren't they just so cute? Aren't they just so beautiful? They're so awesome. I wanna keep looking at them all day. I wanna make my own world map. I wanna stare at other people's world maps. They're so magnificent, they're so malevolent, and so terrific. I believe I have expressed my affection towards video game world maps. This is gonna be the entire video, by the way. Back when I was a kid, I used to draw Mario 3 world maps on my A4 paper, and when I first got my computer, I used to look up on Google Images to search up on Mario world maps. I nearly got into SMW ROM hacking because I want to make a SMW world map, but Lunar Magic was way too confusing, so that never happened. But now that I'm an indie game developer, I can just put them in my video games. Now surprisingly, I didn't take every chance I had ever to sneak a world map into my game. Now Froggo Swing and Grapple did have a world map and it was a Mario 3 style map, but Verdant Venture didn't have one for various reasons. TLDR is that Verdant Venture was incredibly rushed and there simply wasn't enough time for me to justify working on an entire map while still finishing stuff like these boss fights and the cutscenes and whatnot. That's why I went with the more time-efficient Kirby's Adventure style map. And the pretty aesthetics for the map was also easy to put together as well. And also, surprisingly enough, most of my gem games didn't have world maps either, so today I would like to take my opportunity to work on a very beautiful map, a very awesome map that can do the game justice. By the way, have I talked about how awesome overworlds are? Have I talked about how awesome world maps are in a video? So the earliest kind of world maps I had came up with for Drifting Sky can look like this, I think. Back when I was still working on Verdant Venture, I really wanted the sequel to be more sky focused, and there would be kind of like airship levels, autumn levels, sky levels, cloud levels. Yeah, these are the few level themes I really want to work on because I just love this level theme so much. Right now you can see that the sky, the cloud levels, and the autumn levels have made in, but the airship levels somehow didn't. That's fine, things change a lot as development goes. And when I finally got to a point where I actually make or draw the world map, I already have vastly different ideas than the one I already had. I guess the one idea I had wasn't really concrete, it was just kind of like blurry imagination of what it could have been like. But this time, this one is actually more concretely drawn into a concept art. And here's the concept art. Let's just look at it, take it in. This is a floating island being held up by a very tall tree. And the tall part wasn't the trunk, but rather the root. This island was actually a part of a mountainside or cliffside town that used to be bustling and alive, but one day a tree just kept growing, and it took the entire piece of land with it into the sky. And that's what the world map is going to be like. So you can see how the kind of level things I want for the game have changed over time. Partly due to the world map I wanted. So after I worked on this world map, I quickly went on to draw the actual assets for it. And I believe I have documented every day's progress, so editor me can just turn it into a quick time lapse, I guess. This is the point where I decided that I can actually start the implementation in the game. Though it isn't completely done yet, I still have to work on finishing the routes and do little touch-up and whatnot. I think it's complete enough to be added to the game, and so I started working. Now, I didn't make a map system for Verdant Venture, so I had to make a completely new one from scratch, and that can be a little bit of a daunting task, especially when you want to make something out of nothing, and that's why writing down the plan could be a good thing, and that's why I started drafting the plan on MS Paint, and I started to conceptualize how it's gonna work from the engine on Verdant Venture, and how the map data structure is going to be like, and how the map editor is going to be like, what kind of features it's gonna have. And now there's a more written plan, I can safely work on the map editor first and foremost. Now, when I first made the tadpole level editor, I didn't anticipate I would make so many versions of it, but I ended up making the level editor, the cutscenes editor, and now a map editor. Like, every time I have to like make major changes to the code, just so I can have it work on a different set of features. So now we have this node-based system for the map. The idea I have for it is basically this world map is just a ginormous flowchart, simply put. And that's basically it, actually. Quite simple. Every node there is some basic information indicating the ID of the node, its position, the level it's gonna lead to, and the neighboring nodes. And after working on the implementation, I made the functionality to make it load the assets I made for it, and then finally I made the implementation in game. And this is how it ended up. This is so neat. I love this so much. I love this way more than the Froggo Swing Grapple map. So the plan I have for this is there's not going to be secret access or anything. You kind of just unlock levels on the go, and it will just unlock all the neighboring nodes. And you kind of just go around directionless and just complete it in any way you like. But that's the plan for now. And that's basically it. You can just take a look at the map right now. You can take a look at it. I love it. This is so awesome. Have I talked about how much I love world maps? I also decided to animate a new little animation for Froggo's entering level scene, and it looks awesome. Like, check this out. But anyway, that's all I have made for the world map as of now. It's definitely still needs touch up. It's still yet to be completed. Like, I don't know if I'm going to redo the leaves or the treetop or not. It looks kind of like bare bones compared to the rest of the map, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be just lazy and just leave it like that. But I guess it'll be it for today for now. For the past 3 and 4 months, you might be wondering where I've been going, but I really just been quietly working on the game behind the scenes. Not much going on. I also had to work on university, so there isn't enough energy left for me to work on videos, so I think it's normal for me to just make one every once in a while, like every few months. I guess the other stuff that I want to make a devlog about, I guess, are level design, music. Oh, this is one I really want to talk about. I almost made a music devlog, but once again university work, so I just gave up. I bought an electric piano. I bought a Yamaha just so I could get more familiar with music theory. I've only been learning this thing for 2 weeks. But anyway, I hope you look forward to the future devlogs and the release of this game. and I hope you enjoy this devlog. I'll see you in the next one.